Calisthenics is the modern day rat race of the fitness community. It's the self-improvement guru space for the gym. If you're not constantly progressing from one thing to the next at an extremely fast pace, then you're honestly behind. At least that's how it comes across. And this has led to a hideous amount of overanalyzation in the calisthenics community. You want this skill? Okay, this is the best way to get it. Well, no, maybe it's actually this way instead. People don't know what to do anymore, and this is a problem because making progress in calisthenics is extremely simple. And in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how to do it without overcomplicating anything. Now, the first thing that I want you to be aware of is that what you do matters so much less than how consistent you are with doing it. Everybody likes to think that if they don't have the perfect training program, that they're not gonna get the skill. When realistically, the only difference between the beginners and the advanced people is just that the advanced people have done it for way longer. Even if you have a bad routine, after 10 years, you're probably gonna be pretty good. As long as you're doing something and constantly trying to improve, you're gonna be fine 99% of the time. Now, before we understand, we need to understand the different types of calisthenics. Now, there's 4 types of calisthenics that most people wanna do. There's obviously more, but these are the main categories that they fall into. Number 1 is statics. Number 2 is street lifting. Number 3 is reps and sets. And number 4 is something I like to call Jerry's, which is probably you. Statics is this. It's these cool, static, isometric movements that look like you're basically flying. Street lifting is how much weight can you add onto basic movements like pull-ups, push-ups, and dips, sometimes handstand push-ups, sometimes muscle-ups. And reps and sets is essentially endurance. How many sets of how many reps can you do of these basic exercises? And then a Jerry. A Jerry is someone who doesn't really have much interest in doing all of these yet, at least. They don't know what they want to do. They just want to learn some cool moves like a handstand or a handstand push-up or a front lever or a muscle up. They just want to learn these basic calisthenics moves and then move on with their life. But a lot of them get stuck on learning how to actually do these moves. If you don't know which one you're interested in, that's completely fine. Progression through all of these is very similar and the first steps are all the exact same. So what is the first step of any calisthenics goal? Well, it's actually maybe what you think, maybe not. I don't know. Ugh. The first step is to start by, oh my gosh, yo, can this wasp get away from me, bro? The first step is to start by getting a base of body weight strength. You might think that you already have this through weightlifting or whatever, but I promise you that you don't. And to do this, all you're gonna do is you're gonna get very good at push-ups, very good at pull-ups, and very good at dips. And if you want, you can do a little bit of balance work on the side, like learning to do a handstand. A lot of people like to recommend a specific number of these before you move on, but I really think it's more of a general territory. As long as you feel very comfortable in pull-ups, push-ups, and dips, you're probably good to move on. I think if you're below 10 pull-ups, 30 dips, or 40 push-ups, you should probably still work on it. But if you feel very fine and very strong, you're good to go. Now you might be asking, how do I build these basics? I can only do 1 pull-up, how do I get more? There's different levels to these, but the workouts are all pretty much the exact same. There's just a little bit of variance between workouts. Oh my God, yo, I'm actually about to fall over. Don't stress out too much about it. I would say a good example workout is this right here. I'll leave it up on screen. As long as you are consistently doing pull-ups, push-ups, and dips, you're going to get better at them. Now, if you're someone who can't do these reps, hence the word assisted next to it, you're gonna buy a resistance band. This is pretty much the holy grail of calisthenics. It allows you to do any movement if you're not able to do it yet. It makes the movement easier and allows you to understand the movement and get stronger before you're able to actually do it yourself. So if you need to get better at pull-ups, you would strap a resistance band around the bar, put your feet in it, and then you would do the amount of pull-ups that you can do. Experiment with these resistance bands, figure out which one works best for you because everybody has different strength levels. Now, once you notice progression, there's 3 things you can do. You can either use a lighter resistance band so there's not as much assistance, you can do more reps, or you can add weight. I recommend doing all of these, of course, with the sole exception of if you are a complete beginner, you shouldn't be doing completely unassisted reps yet if you can only do 1 or 2. Now, the reason that we train these basic things is like every other sport. If you don't nail the fundamentals and you just try to move on to the extremely hard stuff, you're never gonna go anywhere. If I just tried to blast the hardest piano song anyone's ever seen, I definitely would not be able to do it because I haven't learned the basics of the piano. You wouldn't just go into the gym and try and bench 315 on day 1. You build up your base of strength and then slowly increase the weight. We're doing the same thing here, but through body weight strength. After you've completed this stage, this is when you branch off into the other stages. The next stage, there's a lot of overlap between every single area of calisthenics. At this stage, I would assume that most people's goals, including yours, probably look something like this. I want to learn a muscle up, maybe a handstand push-up, a handstand, and maybe something cool like a front lever or something. And it's usually from here that you figure out if you actually want to pursue calisthenics, if you want to do statics, or if you just want to get these cool skills and then move back onto weightlifting. To structure your training, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick 1 pull skill. This can be something like a muscle up, a front lever, a 1-arm pull-up, Just make sure it's not too advanced for your level. Then you want to pick one push skill, like a handstand push-up or a much stronger weighted dip. And then one balance skill, which if you're at this level is pretty much just exclusively a handstand. And then start training. That's all there is to it. You don't need to overcomplicate. The structure for this training is very, very simple. You want to train each of these skills 2 to 3 times per week. 2 to 3. It doesn't matter how you do this, as long as you're training each one 2 to 3 times per week, getting a separate workout for each one. That is all that you need. You could do something like push day and then pull day and then rest and repeat that over and over and over. You could do push and pull in the same day if you want to save time. This is what I do. I just superset everything. I don't do one workout and then the next workout. You could integrate balance into your workouts at the end of your workouts, completely outside of your workouts. It's really up to you how you want to train. Everybody's going to differ depending on their schedule, strength level, what they like doing, what they enjoy most. But there's not really a method that works best for everyone. That's why I want you to figure out exactly what training schedule you're going to do. Now, for the workouts themselves, there is one guideline that I want you to follow. One big, huge guideline that if you miss, you might as well forget everything I said in this video. The overwhelming majority of your workout, 80 to 90% of your workout, should be training the exact movement pattern of the skill you're trying to get or learn. So if I am wanting to train something like a muscle up, 90% of my training is going to be vertical pulling stuff. I'm going to be doing muscle ups with a resistance band. I'm going to be doing high explosive pull-ups. I'm not going to be doing anything like rows. Maybe as a supplemental exercise, that is the other 10 to 20% that you're doing. So if I wanted to train a muscle up, I'd probably do something like this. I'd start with some form or technique work. I'd maybe try a few muscle ups just to see where I'm at, record myself, look at the footage, try a little better. Then I'd move into the real workout. I'd do some assisted muscle ups with a resistance band, and then I'd do some high and explosive pull-ups, and then maybe I'd finish off the workout with some weighted pull-ups. Same thing, let's say I wanted to learn a handstand push-up. 90-80% of my training is going to be focused on the vertical pushing pattern itself. So maybe I'd start with handstand push-ups against the wall, and then handstand push-up negatives, and then maybe some pike push-ups at the end. I'm not doing any horizontal push work like this. If you want to do some dips or some push-ups or some bench press on the other 10 to 20%, that is fine. But you should not be doing these things every single workout. So if I wanted to train front lever, I would not be doing a bunch of pull-ups and weighted pull-ups. I'd maybe hit them a few times every week or two. Now you might be asking something like, how many reps am I supposed to do? You gave the exercises, but not the sets and reps. Now I can't tell you how many sets and how many reps you're supposed to do. I also won't, and there's a few reasons for this. Number one is that this video would be way too long if I was explaining how to train every single exercise individually, how many sets to do, how many reps to do, for this, for that. That's for another video. Number two is that everybody's different. If I do 6 or 7 sets, shut the hell up. If I do 6 or 7 sets, I might be not fatigued at all, but if you do 6 or 7 sets, you might be completely blown out of the water, unable to do anything for the next 3 days. Number 3, the best way to progress is to figure out what works for you. And number 4, the more you overanalyze and over-optimize everything in your training, the more you're gonna hate your training and the less progress you're gonna make, more likely you're gonna be to quit. As I said, what you do matters so much less than how long you're doing it for. If you want to learn a skill, get familiar with that skill. If you're just going to the workout park and raw dogging it every time, you're not gonna make any progress. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see with calisthenics athletes. Get familiar with the movement pattern, with how your muscles are supposed to be engaged, what the best exercises are for that skill. Look these things up, do some research. You can't just expect to figure out everything on your own and get all the information from some guy online. You have to do some research yourself. It'll help you figure out what works best for you as you test things, and you will often end up learning it much, much faster if you actually understand what you're trying to train. If you've trained these skills for a while and you've stayed consistent, you will end up getting the skill. That's just how it works. Now, what do you do after you've achieved these skills? I've got muscle up, I've got handstand push up, blah, 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 blah. After this, it's 10 times simpler because you've already pretty much done the entirety of calisthenics. Calisthenics after that is literally just rinse and repeat. You pick a new skill. I want a stronger weighted pull-up. I want to get more pull-ups. I want to get a planche. You pick these skills. Maybe you do a little research, see what the best exercises are, format your training, try one thing, maybe adjust some things next week after that, touch up on some things, and you'll end up learning that skill too. It's literally just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Same thing for weighted calisthenics or street lifting. Same thing for reps and sets. You're doing the same movement pattern, trying to increase your weight, trying to increase your reps. More often than not, if you're trying to train higher volume and get more reps, you're obviously going to want to train more reps, whether that's with a resistance band or not. And if you're trying to get much stronger at something, you're going to want to do less reps, but you're going to want those reps to be much, much harder. It's the same thing for balance too. I can make a different video on this, because balance is slightly different. But but it's generally the same thing. Every single day, you're going to record yourself. You're going to kick up, you're going to try handstands, you're going to familiarize yourself, if that's even a word, with the correct form. You're going to do isolation exercises so you can see what correct form feels like. You're going to kick up to the wall. You're going to try and get a good idea of how much you need to kick up. You're going to practice your balance. You're going to isolate your balance. You're going to kick up to the wall and slowly remove your feet so you can feel the balance in your hands. You're going to do these things every day, and as you get more and more familiar with how you're supposed to train it, the correct movement pattern, maybe look up some things here and there, change your training program, you're going to end up making progress. It is really that simple. What you do matters so much less than how consistent you are with doing it. I don't care if you're just kicking up to a handstand 5 times every day trying to do it. If you are consistent with that and you're doing that multiple times per day, you're gonna end up getting much better at the handstand. And as you get much better at the handstand, you're gonna wanna improve more, so you're naturally gonna do more research and look into how to do it better. And then that is when the progress really starts. You can't just be looking to get all the information you need out of one video or one Instagram reel. I can't provide you with all the information you need, but it's really not that complex anyways. As long as you're doing something in the thing you wanna get, you're gonna get better. Let me see if I can't hit a cheeky little pack flip here. Oh, no. And unfortunately, that's it. That's all I have to tell you. I don't need to tell you anymore for you to progress in calisthenics, for you to get better at calisthenics. That is the base knowledge of everything you need. Train the movements that you're trying to train, and you will make progress regardless of what you're doing. You do not need to obsess over every individual thing you're doing, the fucking RPE of every rep, exactly how many sets, oh, exactly the amount of weight. Like, brother, just do the thing you're trying to do. Just plan out the workout and do that workout to the best of your ability. If you're following the principles I gave you for how to train, you're gonna be golden.
Now, with all of that being said, do not let anybody convince you that you have to buy some kind of product or program or coaching to be successful in calisthenics. That's just not true. I've made it a very long way without any kind of coaching whatsoever. I figured out everything on my own. Would it help to buy something? Yeah, sure. All the information's in one place. You can get stuff personalized to you. It obviously is better, I'm not gonna lie, but it is not needed at all. You don't need to buy some kind of program to get good at calisthenics. With that being said, if you'd like to support me and further your calisthenics journey, check out the description for links to coaching. You can pre-order very informational guides, have all the information in one place. But once again, totally up to you. If you enjoy content like this, tutorials, calisthenics, fun videos, everything like that, I post all that on this channel right here. And if you want to check out some of my other content, I'll have that linked in the description. No, it is not what you're thinking. I do not do that shit. What? I really hope this video helped you guys out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.